Hi, I'm Susie.
Hi, I'm Gavin.
Hi, I'm Kieran.
Hi, I'm David.
Johnson Matthey is a global company manufacturing a wide range of specialty chemical products. These include catalysts, which control pollution from vehicles. These are fitted to cars and reduce emissions from the exhaust pipe, ensuring that the air around us is clean and safe to breathe.
Today, air quality is very good, but 50 years ago that wasn't the case. The reason that it's good today is thanks to the catalytic converters that we have fitted to our cars, and they control the harmful pollutants that otherwise would be emitted into the atmosphere. Governments around the world continue to set tighter and tighter emissions limits and introduce new regulations to control additional pollutants from different types of vehicles.
Diesel cars are particularly popular in Europe and account for about 50% of all the vehicle sales in that region. Everyone has seen the black smoke or soot coming out of the exhausts of diesel cars, and evidence has shown that this soot poses a serious hazard to our health and to the environment. Legislation was introduced to control these soot emissions from diesel cars alongside the other pollutants of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons and oxides of nitrogen, or NOx.
Developing a new catalyst that can remove soot from a car exhaust provided a lot of chemistry challenges for our scientists here at Johnson Matthey. It required innovative R&D and development of an environmentally responsible manufacturing process. The auto catalyst used in diesel cars is called a diesel oxidation catalyst and effectively cuts emissions of hydrocarbons and carbon monoxide by 90%.
Unlike hydrocarbons and carbon monoxide, soot is made up of small tiny particles of carbon. So our scientists had to come up with a really clever technology to deal with the soot emissions. We came up with the idea of the filter, which would trap the soot particles and stop them from leaving the exhaust tailpipe, removing over 99% of the soot. The filter is visually different to a standard auto catalyst. With a standard auto catalyst, you have channels running all the way through, whereas with the filter, alternate channels are blocked to make sure that the incoming soot particles are trapped. But then there is a problem with the build-up of soot, as more and more soot is trapped. In order to help lower the build-up of soot, we had to design a catalyst coating that could be applied to the filter. This would then promote a reaction that would burn the trapped soot off as CO2. After a lot of research, we developed the right catalyst to help burn off the soot. We call this a catalyzed soot filter, and it is fitted into the car exhaust behind the diesel oxidation catalyst.
So, how does the catalyzed soot filter work? It's a filter coated with precious metal catalyst. The catalyst promotes the reaction of nitrogen oxide, which is present in small quantities in the exhaust, to nitrogen dioxide, NO2, and this NO2 reacts with the soot, converting it to carbon dioxide, or CO2. The catalyst also helps with the oxidation of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons too, meaning that a small diesel oxidation catalyst can be used on the vehicle. The CO2 from soot combustion and the gases produced from the diesel oxidation catalyst pass through the filter walls and then they leave the exhaust tailpipe.
Once we understood the chemistry, we then had to test the product in our test cells and on real vehicles to prove that it could meet the regulations, could withstand the extreme conditions within the car exhaust, and did not become deactivated over time by the impurities present in the diesel fuel.
We have also developed a product that combines the DLC and CSF into one unit, which is preferred by some car manufacturers. However, the majority of diesel cars these days have the two-unit system of a diesel oxidation catalyst and a catalyzed soot filter.
At the same time, we started to develop a whole new manufacturing process so we could make these catalysts at a large enough scale to meet the needs of the European car market. The process we use is very much different to the process we use for developing auto catalysts for the petrol cars. We've constructed 2 world-scale production sites here in Royston in the UK.
We have now sold over 1.5 million catalysed soot filters to European car manufacturers, which will prevent around 12 million kilos of soot being emitted into our atmosphere over the lifetime of these vehicles. This is good news, as it is estimated by the EU that the particulate matter may contribute to up to 20,000 premature deaths each year in Europe. Legislation will continue to tighten around the world. The next European legislation, due to come into effect in 2014, will mean that the level of NOx emissions from vehicles will need to be reduced.
Here at Johnson Matthey, we're already working on combining the catalysed soot filter with nitrogen oxide emissions control for the next generation of automotive emissions catalysts.
Since their introduction in 1974, our catalysts have removed around 4 billion tonnes of pollutants from the atmosphere. Chemists play a vital role in developing the very latest catalysts and technologies for emission control and on making sure we all have clean air.